Hi soulmates, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful white leg palazzo pants with elastic waistband. So we are going to go ahead by marking our 2 inches at the top of this fabric for our waistband. So all our measurements start from these 2 inches. So we are making use of 3 yards of Ankara fabric on fold. To know the amount of fabric you fold, just divide your hip measurement by 4 and add 8 inches extra. So from this our 2 inches, we go ahead and mark our hip line. My hip line is 9, and then I add extra 2 inches to that 9, which is 11 for my crotch line. Because it's a free pant, you don't want it to be too tight. And then I mark my full length and 2 inches allowance for hemming the down part. So after I've gone ahead to roll out the line, so I'm going to impute my horizontal measurement. On the waistline, I'm going to mark my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches for ease, because the trouser is a free trouser, so you don't want it to be tight. So I'll go ahead and mark it on this my new waistline, which is the 2 inches line. Then on the hip line also, I'm going to mark still that same exact measurement, hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches allowance for ease. I will also mark the same measurement on the crotch line, after which I'll go ahead and roll a straight line. So I've gone ahead now and ruled the line. So I'm going to mark my crouch extension. So I'm using 2.5 inches as crouch extension. My hip is 42, remember. If you're on the smaller side, you can use 2 inches as a crouch extension, and if you're on the bigger side, you can even use up to 3 inches. So I mark 2.5. Can you see? And then I connect it with a curve to the hip line, just like you see me doing. So after this now, I'm going to measure what I have from this crouch extension to the end of the fabric, and whatever I have, I am going to now mark that same measurement to the end of the fabric. Just like so. So I'll now mark it with So I've gone ahead now to mark it with a straight line, and this is basically all for the front pattern. So I'll go ahead now and cut it out. So I've cut it out, and then we'll use this same pattern to cut the back. So you add extra 3 inches allowance on this back pattern, and then on the waist you measure out 2 inches on the waist. So you put your front pattern on that 2 inches. So at the side of the back, you are going to mark 2.5 inches allowance. So you mark 2.5 all the way at this side of the crotch of the back. You mark it all the way from the down of the pants to the waist side. Remember, we place our front at 2 inches from the top of the back. like measure that 2 inches now on fold at the back pattern, and then you place the front pattern on top of that 2 inches. So on that top now, that 2 inches at the top, you go up by that 2 inches at this crotch part, and then curve it to the other side of the waist of the front panel. I will curve it so that you see what I'm talking about. You can see me doing. I'll mark it now, and then I'll go ahead and curve it. So I have curved it now. This is what it looks like. So you do that curve to avoid gaping. So that is all about the back pattern. Now go ahead and cut it out. Remember, before you place your front pattern on the back piece to mark the back, make sure you mark out 2 inches at the top of the back pattern. So you place your front pattern starting from that 2 inches that you marked at the top. So that is just basically all. The only difference between the front and the back is just this 2 inches allowance you added at this side of the crotch and on the waist of the back pants. The other side is the same in both front and back. So this is all about the cutting. We'll now go over and okay, so this is 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the back. So we are going to go over now to the sewing machine, and then I will bring out these two. This is the front pattern now, front facing front. You join the crotch by 0.5 inch, and then you also do the same to the back, the two back piece. You join it together, front facing front at the crotch with 0.5 inch, just like so. So go over to cut the pockets. This is the fabric, the pattern is folded into 4. You fold it into 2, and then you fold the 2 again into 2. That's 4 pieces. So right now we want the width of the pocket to be 7.5. So I first of all mark out. You can just mark out ½ inch, but because there is a tear at that end, that's why I marked out 1.5 inch. And make sure the remaining material, you mark out the 7.5 inch width that you want, and then you place your hand and trace out the shape of the pocket just like this. So this is all about the pocket cutting, as simple as ABC. So you now go over and cut it out. So to attach the pocket, this is the front pattern. As you can see, I've gone ahead to join the two front pattern at the crotch with 0.5 inch, just like so. So to attach the pocket, I've also gone ahead to attach the pocket. So from the waist like this, you come down by 1 inch. Can you see? Come down by 1 inch, and then you start attaching the pocket from that 1 inch. You can just, then you also do the same on the other side. Come down by 1 inch from the waist and attach it just like so. You go to your sewing machine and use 1/2 inch to attach it. You also bring out the back pattern. You will do the exact same thing you did at the front to the back pattern. On the waist, go down by 1 inch and then attach the pocket from there with 0.5 inch. You also do the same for the other side. So after attaching it now, you place the front pattern on the back pattern, arrange it, and then you go and sew. You sew from the waist down to the down of the pants. As you are sewing the pocket, you not close it, you sew around the pocket. Can you see what I mean? Sew on the waist like this, then sew around the pocket just like so. You not close the opening of the pocket, and then sew down. You also do the same thing on this other side too. Sew on the waist, sew around the pocket, and then sew to the end of the trouser just like so. So I've gone ahead to sew it together, and this is what it looks like. Both the front and the back piece I've sewed together, including the pocket. I've also gone ahead to close this down part. So after this, now we are now going to cut out the waistband. But to do that, we have to measure the waist of the trouser. So you take your exact measurements, just as you see me doing. You measure your waist, the waist of the pants. So that is what you are going to cut out for the band. So the width of the band we are using now, we are cutting. Okay, I've gone ahead to cut the band now. If your waist is the waist of your trouser is like maybe 40 inches, so you measure 41 inches. You use the other 1/2 inches to close it. So the width of our band is on fold is 6 inches. Reason being that, remember, we are using a 2 inches we are using a 2 inches elastic. Sorry, the width of our band on fold is 3. So we have gone ahead to join the band to the trouser, just as you see. The width of our band on fold is 3 inches. We'll use 1/2 inches to join the band to the trouser, and the remaining 1/2 inch will be for ease. So the band like this now is 2.5 inches, and we are using a 2 inches elastic inside. So I've attached the band to the trouser, and I've left small opening that we'll use and pass the elastic. So this is the elastic we are using. We are using a 2 inches elastic, and the length of the elastic is the length of your waist, your actual waist. If your actual waist is 26 minus 4 inches from inside, so that will be the length of your elastic. That's 26 minus 4, for instance. That's the length of your elastic. So you now take your elastic with safety pin and use it to pass to your band from that small opening we left at the front crotch of the band. So you use it to pass it. And after passing it now, you go ahead and close back the opening and you weave the waist of your trouser. So let me bring it closer. When passing the elastic, you pass it gently, no need to rush. And make sure there is space on the band for your elastic to pass with ease, maybe like ½ inch or 1 inch even. So I've gone ahead to pass the elastic and this is what it looks like. Can you see? So I've also gone ahead to mark out 2 lines on the band. From this upper part you measure ½ inch, and from the down part you measure ½ inch and sew the line. Just sew it as if you are sewing gathers. As you are sewing, you drag it. So after doing that, now this is what it looks like. And then you go ahead now and attach this your drawstring just like so.